Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. As I say it many times, you will not find the reality from the articles that will try to explain to you reality or an issue at hand. You will find extra and more important evidence about that issue from other articles, sometimes unrelated directly with the issue. So they have been telling us, they being the big media here in the United States of America and Europe, and the New Voice of Ukraine, and all these guys, Pravda, and I understand that. From that, they have to keep the propaganda up, but the Western media, the corporate media, nah, they are the pinnacle of truth, free media, right? Yeah. Okay, so. I hate when these guys are telling us something and then they write other articles and wait a second. So that was, not really like that. Because these guys have been telling us for a year and 3 months now that the Russians are losing, and they've been losing and the Ukrainians have been winning. That's how the story goes. But when you get information from left and right, extra, you realize, well, if they've been losing, why do you need extra and more, any kind of extra weapons? So if you've been winning, let's say with a sword, and you've been winning, why then you need a spear? Why then you need a pistol? Why then you need a bazooka? Why then you need a tank, and then you need an airplane? If you were winning with a sword only, keep doing, win, you lose, give me everything you got. No, you provide a spear, you provide a handgun, you provide a bazooka. That means you haven't been winning. That means you have to escalate all these things in order to do something to the opposite. I haven't heard the Russians involving anything else. Have you heard them? Did they involve anything like, it was maybe the tank, the newest tank, but this guy says, they have about 20 of them, and they're not good. No. And I say, what is that? And they got that Sukhoi, the 5th generation, whatever, 54, 52, Sukhoi something. But they're not good. They're afraid to bring them on the front. So basically the Russians did not bring anything extra. But these guys have been supplied on and on and on. That means they needed something in order to win. If they've been winning, if things go well, don't change anything. You know how that rule goes? Don't change anything if things are running okay. Well, these guys have been changing and adding all the time. That means they are not doing well. So again, this piece of information that is available shows us that they've been lying. I mean, we all knew everybody lies. But anyway, what's going on here? We heard about the Ukrainian counteroffensive and how the Ukrainians are advancing there and there. Okay, but then why this expert that I'm going to feature in this video from this article thinks that Ukraine needs at least 500 Storm Shadow long-range British missiles? Why don't you need 5? Why don't you need them? Why do you need them? Why do you need them? Since you've been winning. But he said you need at least 500 to start the process of exhaustion. I thought they were exhausting the Russians since what? A year and 3 months ago already. So let's go and read this article. And remember, all this equipment, all these missiles cost money. And I already made a calculation for you or for us. The New Voice of Ukraine, May 23rd, 2023. Ukraine needs at least 500 UK-made Storm Shadow missiles. Military expert. Okay, he knows what he's talking about. He's an expert. So, Ukraine needs at least 500 British-made Storm Shadow missiles to exhaust Russia, Azeri military expert Agil Rustamzadeh said in an interview to New Voice of Ukraine on May 23rd. And I'm quoting, the amount of 500 pieces, just pieces. For him, it's just like pieces of, marble. This will definitely be a tool that will just help Ukraine intensively start the military exhaustion process. So we'll just start. So it's 500 are just used like the key for the ignition. So when those minimum 500 is just that's it. It doesn't mean you have anything else, gas or go. No, just that's it. And then you need more. This is an Azari guy. No, let's see how much a Storm Shadow missile costs, and let's multiply it by 500. I already made a calculation. So let's go to these little things. And we have this. Param-pam-pam. Stormy Daniels Shadow. Here we have. And this is the missile. And we find out it costs... Where are you, man? Right here. You see this? Pum pum pum. That is 2,200,000 pounds. That would be about 2,000,000, let's say $300,000. So I made it in pound right here. All right, 2,200,000 pounds multiplied by 500, as the weasel says. That is what? 1.1 billion. Right? There's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. So 1,100,000,000 pounds for at least to turn on the key for Mr. Azari expert. Because the money doesn't come from him. He's very generous. But hey, you can say, Emil, he just gave his expertise, okay, I got that. But then we think, who's paying for that? You. I pay for other things. Yeah, don't think that I'm not a weasel as well, But we are together in this because we've been asked by our leaders, elected officials, if we want to give billions of dollars to someone else and take it from our children, giving to their children. And people say yes, 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 yes. You know why? Because they don't see it yet. It doesn't hurt them hard enough yet. When that's gonna bite them in the butt later, you know what they're gonna say? Oh, it's not from $1.1 billion or pounds. It's not from that. It's from Putin. Because Putin blackmailed Europe, and Europe had to do all this. I don't remember Putin blackmailing anybody. All I know is this guy said, we don't need your oil. We're going to wane away. We're going to protect ourselves from maybe your blackmail. So we're going to impose sanctions on you. That's what happened. Putin never said, you know what, I'm going to turn it off. No, his banks were kicked out of SWIFT. He said, okay, then you got to pay in rubles. Oh, a contract is a contract. Well, you kicked us out of, you place sanctions on us. What are you talking about? What am I supposed to do? Take it as a lady of the night? You know what I mean? Do you think we are, countries of 20 million people or 4 million people or 9 million people? We got nuclear weapons and shit. Oh, no, you don't. Everything you got is rusty. Anyway, and the Ukrainians are the ones who are getting decimated in the process of these two being this, and the Russians over there. But hey, Russia invaded Ukraine unprovoked. So there how the story has to go and has to be told. And if you say something else, and if you try to use this a little bit and try to look for something else, you're going to be called names. But you don't give up because you got balls, they don't. All right? That's the difference. And we got brains, they don't. They're weasels, we're not. That's the only advantage they have. They're weasels. That means they're petty criminals. You know how the petty criminals, they steal a chicken, an egg, things like this. This is how they are. In Romania, we call them greinari. Greinar comes from chicken. People who steal just chicken. And other people steal other stuff. So they're like the greinari, like chicken stealers. Yeah, well, you're not looking, we're going to take this. Yes, we're going to take this. Oh, I went a little bit ahead of you. Yes, and you're just going, whack, whack. Why? Because strength is desirable. Let's put it nicely, mildly, euphemistically, weasel-like. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart. So go to work, get those billion... $500 at least Stormy Daniels, storm water, whatever missiles, okay? Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth and be just.